Jack became a father at 46 and believes he waited so long because he couldn't find the right woman. Fortunately, his young wife, Leah, is pregnant again, expecting their second child. He is a strong-willed man with very traditional thoughts, and he wants his children to be prepared for the future. Jack meets with his friends. Connor, who is married to Kara, who believes her son can do whatever he wants and gets upset when her husband tries to reprimand him. And Mike, who has a young and attractive girlfriend named Brittany, who doesn't want to have children, which represents the desire of many mature and divorced men. Jack used to own a clothing factory with his friends, which he agreed to sell in order to pay for his son's private school. However, he is not very sure if he made the right decision. They arrive at their old factory because they are now going to work there. They went from being owners to employees. Aspen, the new director, is a 28-year-old who begins by telling them that they have done a great job and that they should be proud of what they have achieved, but that things are going to change. As a first measure, he is going to fire all people born before 88, except for the 3 of them. Jack gets furious and tells him that this is not legal, but Aspen has everything under control. He also recommends that he go to a specialist to control his anger. Upon leaving the factory, Jack goes to pick up his son from kindergarten. It is evident that he does not understand the new generation, as he insults a young man on a skateboard who crosses the street. To complete this bad moment, when he arrives at the kindergarten, he can't find a place to park, which makes him 2 minutes late. The director reminds him that he is late, and he explains that it was because there was no place to park. But Dr. L says there are no excuses, and they start arguing. The conversation ends with Jack yelling and insulting her, while the other parents look terrified by what happened. When he gets home, his wife demands that he apologize to Dr. L, as her recommendation is essential for his son to get into a good private school. The next day, they go to the kindergarten to talk to Dr. L, but she makes him apologize in front of all the parents, under the pretext of curing the situation thoroughly, since they are a community. This is an embarrassing moment where Dr. L's passive-aggressive attitude is evident. Mike arrives home and Brittany tells him that she is pregnant, but he doesn't think it's possible, as he already had a vasectomy. What seemed like a normal day for Mike ended in the worst way. Jack and Connor meet to try to cheer Mike up, but nothing they say makes him feel better. The next day, Jack brings a small olive tree to the kindergarten to smooth things over, but Dr. L is hateful and tells him that she cannot accept it, as that plant is not compatible with the other trees in the garden. Afterwards, she invites him to be part of a fundraising activity, taking advantage of his sales skills, but it is evident that she is taking advantage of the situation. Jack convinces Connor to help him with ideas, and thus organize the fundraising event for the kindergarten. Then they meet with other parents, but they clearly have another idea in mind. While Jack and Connor want to have a party where they can sell alcohol and dance, the other parents are much more conservative and want to have a boring event, where neither the morals nor the values of the institution are affected. That day, it is evident that the other parents also have a passive-aggressive attitude, just like Dr. L. Another day, Aspen tells them that he had a great idea. He has in mind the concept that the new fashion is not wanting to be fashionable, and he also has the right person as the image of this campaign, an old man who has lived completely away from civilization for more than 20 years. Now, Jack and his friend's task is to go find him. They go in a car with Travis, an office colleague, and taking advantage of the moment, they start making somewhat heavy jokes, which is why Travis, who is much younger, tells them that talking badly about women when they are alone seems cliché. Furthermore, he considers that his generation is more evolved than theirs. While they are arguing, they run over a small animal and stop immediately. Then they see a man walking, who turns out to be the person they are looking for. Jack explains the reasons why they were looking for him, and the man agrees to accompany them. Meanwhile, Leah accidentally meets Kara, Connor's wife. Then Kara's son arrives, hitting Leah, who asks him to please be careful because she is pregnant, but the child does not listen and hits her belly. Then she gets in a bad mood and tells him that it was very bad, which makes Kara also upset because no one has the right to reprimand her son. Jack and his friends arrive at the factory very proud to have found who would be the image of the campaign. But to their surprise, they are fired because the company where they rented the car they used to look for the old man had recorded everything everything that happened, including that inappropriate conversation. These words go against a morality clause they signed in the contract. Weeks later, at the kindergarten party, all the attendees seem satisfied except for Dr. L, since for her the really important thing is the collection of money. Jack, trying to satisfy Dr. L and his wife, starts the auction with great enthusiasm, but everything ends badly when no one bids more than him, and he ends up buying 2 hours of session with Dr. L for $3,000, who takes the opportunity to annoy him even more. She tells him that his purchase was very generous, considering that he has just lost his job and his factory. Jack cannot contain his anger and ends up insulting Dr. L, and although he has his reasons, Leah does not support him, because she knows that without the doctor's recommendation, her son will not be able to get into a good school, but it seems that Jack does not understand. Leah, furious, leaves the party at that moment, but Jack, who was in charge of the event, must wait for everything to end. When he gets home, his wife tells him that she doesn't want to see him, that she doesn't want to be with him, that please leave the house. Mike, for his part, is not having a good night either, as Brittany tells him that since she is pregnant, they should get married. Jack, who has lived the last few days in a hotel, goes to a restaurant where he meets Mike, who is as depressed as he is. Then they decide to take a trip. Going to Las Vegas with friends seems like a good idea to clear their minds. That night, Leah goes to visit Brittany, but to her surprise, she meets Kara, who seems to have already forgotten what happened and welcomes her very well. While they enjoy the excesses that the casino offers them, Jack receives a call from Leah, but it is not she who speaks to him. It is Brittany, who tells him that Leah is about to give birth. They leave the casino drunk and dirty, which means they can't drive and have to order a transportation service. A grumpy old man picks them up, and when they arrive in the city, the man despairs. He does not stop cursing and insulting people and traffic. This situation makes Jack reflect, realizing that he is somewhat like the old man, because he does not accept the change of the new generations. He gets out of the taxi when he sees a skateboard and decides to get on it to get to the hospital faster. While he is on the skateboard, he feels the pleasure of trying new things and understands why young people use them. When they arrive at the hospital, Jack's daughter has already been born, which makes him feel very disappointed in himself. But after accepting his mistakes, Leah forgives him. For his part, Mike proposes to Brittany, and Connor finally tells his wife everything he feels. He is tired of being afraid of her and wants her not to be so calculating with everything. Finally, Jack's son enters a public school, and everything seems to improve little by little. On the other hand, Dr. L did not do very well, as they discovered that she was diverting kindergarten funds for her benefit.